Let's meet the starters for the home team, the Humboldt HS. Batting number 1, the shortstop, number 9, Humboldt. The umpires of this morning's contest are Darryl Holiday, Wyatt Cole, and Mark Ward. As you please stand up and do your hats to play for our national anthem.
We welcome everybody to Tointon Family Stadium in Manhattan, Kansas. It's the Class 3A State Baseball semifinals. As today it is Frontenac, the Raiders, coming in at 22-2 overall, and squaring off against unbeaten Humboldt. The Cubs with all kinds of momentum and an unblemished record here in 2012. Dallas Ackerman with you to bring you all the action of not only this game, but the following 3 games. It's semifinal Saturday that will all conclude with the state championship game coming up later this evening at approximately 5:30 here from Manhattan. Humboldt, the top seed in this Class 3 tournament yesterday, a hard-fought 2-1 win over Wichita Independent to get to this semifinal game, while Frontenac, they too were in a tight one as they hung on to defeat Silver Lake, the defending champions, by a score of 5-2. Still to come later at about 12:30, we'll have Wellsville and Sacred Heart in the other semifinal, and then the third place game will follow between the 2 semifinal losers. That will be at 3 o'clock, and as I mentioned, the championship game coming up later at about 5:30. Let's quickly give you your starting lineups for Frontenac. They are going to be the visitors. They're the lower seed, so the Raiders will come in and lead off with Bryce Burdett, the center fielder. He'll be followed by Brian Wade, the catcher. Pitching today for the Raiders will be Brett McCary, while Blake Vale bats cleanup and is in left field. The shortstop, Matt Stanley, hits 5th. He'll be followed by Blake Bardo, the first baseman, who bats 6th. Ross Edge will be at second base and bat 7th. Nick Zafuda will man third base, bat 8th. And batting 9th, the right fielder, Gus Brunetti. The head coach of the Raiders is Bill Sullivan. For Humboldt, on the mound, Nathan Whitcomb. Big right-hander. Catching, Alex Murrow. The infield from third to first is Grayson Parrish, Hunter Moreau, Kaysen Siemens, and Jacob Carter over at first. The outfield from left to right, Caleb DeArmond, Caleb Vanetta, and Zach Vanetta. And we are underway here from Manhattan, Tointon Family Stadium, Frank Myers Field. Whitcomb deals and misses high, so he's off the mark on his first 2 offerings. 2 balls, no strikes. Bryce Burdett, the center fielder, batting from the right side. That one right down Broadway and makes it a 2-1 count. Outfield straight up, as is the infield. Whitcomb deals. Way high and tight. Knocks Burdett down and moves the count to 3-1. Whitcomb closed things down yesterday in Humboldt's 2-1 win. He got the save over Wichita Independent. There's a walk. Not what Whitcomb had in mind to start this state semifinal game. That'll bring up Brian Wade, the Frontenac catcher. Head coach of Frontenac, Bill Sullivan. What a great year for this Raiders squad. Boy, and Whitcomb has been high here early on. Wade gonna look down at his third base coach. There goes the runner at first. Throw down is high and into center field. No advancement by Burdett. Still a stolen base. And let's hope that Burdett is going to be all right, as he was slow to get up. Now he's going to kind of limp off the bag and try to shake this one off. If you're Frontenac, you don't want to lose your center fielder here in the first inning. It would appear that he's going to be all right. For Humboldt, though, they've got a problem, as they've already seen Whitcomb, their starting pitcher, walk the leadoff man, who you see has just moved down to second base, and now Whitcomb is behind Brian Wade 2-0. Lots of options here early on for Frontenac. Whitcomb comes home and comes home with a strike. Good crowd taking this one in here early on this Saturday morning. There's a shot up the middle. Good play by Moreau to his left and able to throw out Wade on a good play. The runner, Burdette, able to advance to third though. Now we'll see if Brett McCary can help himself out here in the first inning. McCary, the pitcher for Frontenac. Whitcomb gonna work from the wind here with the runner at third and throws outside. Pretty heavy wind blowing from the south, blowing cross toward the left field wall. There's a shot into left field, and that's a hit. So indeed, McCary helps himself out, and Frontenac first on the board. They lead it 1-0. So Brett McCary will at least go to the mound with a 1-0 lead. Still just one out here in the first. Here's Blake Vale, the left fielder. He'll bat with McCary now on at first base. So Burdette crosses home for the first run of the day here from Manhattan. And Vale bats from the right side. And he hits a shot. Diving play by the shortstop, Hunter Moreau. Moreau has had 2 nifty plays here in this first inning. And if it wasn't for his glove at short, this could be a big first inning for Frontenac. So that'll be 2 outs now here in the top of the first inning, and Matt Stanley, the shortstop, will bat with the open stance. There goes the runner, throw down to second off the mark, and in safely is McCary with the steal. It's now a couple of swipes here in the first inning, and now a runner in scoring position for Stanley, an opportunity to give Frontenac a 2-0 lead with a hit. Just off the outside corner is Whitcomb. Boy, this has been a pretty lengthy inning here for Whitcomb in the first. Going to try to get out of it with just 1 run scoring. There's a big rip, no contact, and moves the count to 1-2. Whitcomb going to try to get out of this as he shakes off a couple signs. Shot up the middle, that's a hit. It gets by the center fielder, Venata, and all the way to the wall, and this has got big-time trouble for Humboldt, as rounding the bases is Stanley, and he will score, and it's 3-0 Frontenac in the first. We'll see how they score it. Might be an inside the park home run for Stanley. Frontenac with a huge first inning, plating 3. They're actually going to give the center fielder Venata an error. So more than likely going to be a single and a 3-base error. Give Stanley an RBI, and a costly error it is for Humboldt. And Blake Bardo bats, and he comes in swinging and fouls it off the right side. This is an undefeated Humboldt team, 24-0, and one would guess they have not faced a ton of adversity like this all season. There's a pop-up on the infield, and it's going to drop in front of Caleb Venata, and that's going to be another hit. So the inning will continue, as that is the 3rd hit of this first inning to go with the 3 runs. And the 7th man to the plate in the first, Ross Edge, the second baseman. That pitch is in there for a strike. I've yet to mention, of course, the temperatures today, expected to be in the 90s, probably mid 80s here at first pitch. So even compounds the problem for Nathan Whitcomb, the starting Humboldt pitcher. There's a little dribbler out in front of the plate, and it's going to spin off to the right and roll foul. So now a 2-strike count on Ross Edge. Frontenac, the number 4 seed, coming into the weekend. A little bit high, so ball and 2 strikes. That one sprayed off to the right side and foul into the bleachers down that right field line. So Edge doing a nice job to stay alive here. Humboldt would love to get to the plate and get some swings. There's a ground ball left side. That's a hit. This time Moreau can't come up with it, and Ross Edge continues the offensive onslaught for Frontenac in the first inning. They're about to send their whole lineup to the plate here in the first. Nick Zafuda, the third baseman, number 8 hitter. Frontenac, a lineup loaded with right-handed hitters. And they have not come out timid here in the first. Zafuda takes one right down Broadway for a strike. Misses just a bit outside, even in the count up at 1-1. Good look at Zafuda, the third baseman. That one catches the inside corner with the fastball. So once again, Whitcomb has a Frontenac hitter down in the count, but we've seen him lose hitters several times here in the opening frame, but this time Whitcomb able to finish off the batter. Zafuda down on strikes, but not before Frontenac comes up with 3 runs on 4 hits. There was an error mixed in there, a big error, and they lead it 3-0 with Humboldt set to come up. We'll take a break, come back, and see what if Humboldt can answer the Frontenac first in a moment.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not gonna come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
It's like a hockey puck.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
We are back here in Manhattan. Just missed a single leading off for Humboldt by Hunter Moreau, the leadoff hitter, and just like that, Humboldt going to try to answer the 3 runs put on the board by Frontenac in the top of the first. The rest of this Humboldt lineup, mentioned Moreau, the single to lead off. Caleb DeArmond is now in the batter's box, the right-handed hitter, as the pitch misses outside. The rest of the lineup, number 3 hitter, Caleb Veneta. Number 4 is Nathan Whitcomb. Grayson Parrish hits 5th. Jacob Carpenter 6th. Austin Beeman 7th, the designated hitter. Alex Moreau bats 8th. Kaysen Siemens bats 9th. Is big rip there and no contact by DeArmond, the left fielder. That'll be a throw over to first. Runner Hunter Moreau back safely. On the mound, Brett McCary, who's already been active in this game with an RBI single in the first. There's a swing and a foul ball back to the screen. This time McCary jumps ahead in the count, 1-2. These Cubbies from Humboldt High School, the top seed this weekend. I mentioned in the open, though, they had a dogfight yesterday, hanging on to knock off 8-seed Wichita Independent. The pitch that breaks and nearly catches the corner as DeArmond was bailing out of there. Obviously, McCary with a lot of stuff on his breaking ball. There's another curve. This one stays a little high, a little wide, and the count goes full to Caleb DeArmond. Long way to go here, if you're a Humboldt fan especially. There goes the runner. There's a swing and a miss. Throw down to second, and Moreau able to steal second base. DeArmond is retired on strikes, though, so Humboldt going to have a runner at second base and 1 man out here in the first. Now to bring up the number 3 hitter, the center fielder Caleb Veneta, and I'm sure Caleb gonna want to try to get back at Frontenac, as Caleb had a costly error in the top of the first. Coming in on a line drive, he missed it, and the Frontenac hitter ended up circling the bases, making it 3-0, and that's where we're at right now. There's a big rip and no contact at the off-speed pitch. Evens it up at 1-1. Outfield pretty shallow. Straight up. There's another swing and no contact. So Brett McCary, the Frontenac hurler, been throwing a lot of no contact pitches here in the first inning, which is a good sign for these Raiders. Veneta facing a 1-2 pitch. There's a little chopper toward third, going to be a tough play for Zafuda. Throws across his body and got him at first on a bang-bang play. Good play by Nick Zafuda, charging that one, throwing him out. Moreau able to advance to third, but now 2 outs for Humboldt. The pitcher for Humboldt, Nathan Whitcomb, he's also the cleanup hitter, and he bats with a runner at third and 2 out. There's a breaking ball that may have slipped out of his hand a bit, missing way inside and high. Huge day of baseball here from Manhattan, the Class 3 state championships. 4 games in the book yesterday, 4 more today, which will include the 2 semifinals. There's a pop-up left side toward left. Camping under it is Blake Vale. He's able to go back a couple of steps, make the catch, and Humboldt retired without any runs crossing the plate. We've played one here from Tointon Family Stadium, and it's the Raiders of Frontenac leading Humboldt 3-0.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
Too tight.
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
Here we go to the second inning here from Manhattan, and if you're a Humboldt fan, you're going to hope that things go better this inning on defense as Frontenac leads 3-0. There's a line drive into center field. That's the number 9 hitter, Gus Brunetti, the right fielder, and he kind of picks up where Frontenac left off in the first. And that will take us to the top of the lineup, as here comes Bryce Burdett, who led off the game with a walk. Nathan Whitcomb, the pitcher for Humboldt, boy, first handful of pitches kind of told the story as he missed high and high early, and of course walked the leadoff hitter, and it went downhill from there for these Cubs in the first inning. The runner, Brunetti, leads off at first. He's going to go. The throw down to second. Good throw. Swipe, tag, and they got him. What a throw by Alex Moreau, the catcher. And he guns down Gus Brunetti, who had a bad jump off of first base. And they got him by quite a lengthy margin. So that's a big out now for Humboldt as they erase the leadoff single, and now nobody on and one out. And Burdett in there, and a 1-1 count to him. You could hear the Humboldt dugout. We caught on the mics down on the field after that first inning, the rough top of the first for Humboldt, and you could hear the coaches say there's a lot of baseball left, and there's no doubt about that. Humboldt with 21 outs to work with. Of course, now they're down to 18 after that first inning. There's a shot toward short. Right there is Hunter Moreau, who has his third putout. He's been all over the place in the field for Humboldt, and now nobody on and 2 out. Here's Brian Wade, the catcher. Grounded out to short in the first inning, and Nathan Whitcomb misses badly on that one as he nearly hits Wade in the leg. Wade able to skip out of the way, and Whitcomb falls behind 1-0 here, quickly working on the rubber and dealing. Misses with the fastball, a little bit outside. He falls behind in the count, something he did early on in that first inning. There's a high chopper toward third and gonna bounce foul as Parrish goes over with a nifty bare hand, but it's foul, and he would have had no chance of throwing out Wade if that had been fair. You'll notice the artificial turf here at Frank Myers Field. Not only artificial turf in the grassy areas, but also artificial turf in the dirt. The mound, of course, is real dirt. There's a foul ball behind us, off to the right side. Evening the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Whitcomb comes home, and it hit the batter. So Whitcomb nearly hit Wade earlier in the bat, and this time he glances one off of Wade's forearm. And Wade will trot down to first base with 2 out, and we'll have a courtesy runner come in the game for Frontenac. Looks like they're going to get Austin Beckley coming in to run for the catcher. Here's Brett McCary, going to bat for the second time. McCary with an RBI single in the first. Whitcomb wastes no time here getting ahead in the count as he splits the center of the plate with a fastball. There's a pop-up right side. This one should go to the stands, just out of the reach of the first baseman, Carpenter. And it's a no-ball, 2-strike count.
Hey, Brad, just like last time, let's do it, bud.
Nathan Whitcomb quickly gets the sign he likes and deals. Another pop-up, this one going to reach the dugout and out of play. Count holds at 0-2. Nathan Whitcomb would love to minimize the pitches here and get his team back to the dugout and get the batting helmets back on his teammates. Whitcomb home with it. That one just missed. By the catcher Moreau, he framed it. Home plate umpire not budging. A 1-2 count now. There's a pop-up, and it will be caught near the screen. Alex Moreau makes the catch, and Humboldt able to stymie the Frontenac bats in the second. We've played an inning and a half, 3-0, Frontenac the lead.
Boom! Hey, where you going? Can't get by me. I'm #1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm #1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am the king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Leading off with the Humboldt coach will be number 12, third baseman Grayson Pierce, second Carpenter on there, Austin Freeman and Humboldt.
How much money do you have? How much was that? Hey. Hey, Joe, can I have $2 back?
Good day to get a suntan here from Manhattan. The Humboldt fans basking in the sun, and they're going to hope to see their team plate some runs here. They're down 3-0, this 24-0 Humboldt Cubby team. will be Grayson Parrish, Jacob Carpenter, and Austin Beeman to bat, the numbers 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Parrish, the third baseman, batting from the right side. He hits a little fly ball towards center field. Can of corn for the center fielder, Brudette. And quickly, one gone here in the Humboldt second inning. Here's Jacob Carpenter, the number 6 hitter for Humboldt, the first baseman. He will bat with nobody on and 1 out. Brett McCary out for his second inning of work. McCary, he's done a good job throwing strikes thus far. As I say that, he falls behind in the count 2-0. And that one misses just low. He's been pretty close on his last 2 offerings. But now a 3-0 count to Jacob Carpenter. This one in there for a strike. Ball 4. So Carpenter draws a 1-out walk. He'll be on at first here as we'll now see the DH, Austin Beeman. He bats for the right fielder, Zach Venata. That will move Alex Moreau, the catcher, to the on-deck circle. Pitch high from McCary. McCary wastes little time getting the sign and dealing, and this one going to get away from the catcher Wade, and there goes Carpenter down to second base, and he's in scoring position. Humboldt trying to get on the board here in the bottom of the second inning. This game just about a half an hour old here from Tointon Family Stadium. And this one now going to draw a trip to the mound as Brian Wade going to go out and talk to McCary as he's fallen behind another hitter. It's 3-0 and they're going to talk about it. Give us a chance to tell you that our next semifinal game, our second semifinal, will match Wellsville and Sacred Heart from Salina, scheduled for 12:30, with the winner move into the championship. Record-wise, it looked like we were heading for an unbelievable group of 4 teams today. You had Thomas More Prep at 22-1, St. George 21-2. The number 2 and 3 seeds down on the lower half of this bracket, and all of a sudden Wellsville and Sacred Heart had something to say about it as they blew up that side of the bracket. There's a ball in the dirt and gets away from the catcher as runner advances up to third, and now Beeman going to move down to first. So back-to-back walks by McCary. That has to frustrate the Frontenac coaching staff led by Bill Sullivan. And speaking of the coaching staff, here comes the skipper out to the mound, and he's going to bring his entire infield together to talk about things here. If you're just joining us, Frontenac opened up the game in the top of the first inning with a 3 spot. They had a handful of hits, a costly error. It ended up being basically an inside the park home run. It was a single and a 3-base error. Humboldt going to try to shake it off though and chip into this 3-0 Frontenac lead, and now they have a couple of base runners with less than 2 out. Alex Moreau, they're going to try to get things done with the bottom of the order here. The old fake to third, back to first move that I've never seen work. He comes home and comes home with a strike. McCary facing his first jam of the early portion of this game. That one catches the outside corner, and just like that, it's a no ball, 2-strike count. What a huge strikeout this would be for McCary, with runners at first and third and just 1 out. There's a little pop-up behind home plate. The catcher has trouble locating it, but then comes back and makes a great sliding catch near the screen. Mark that one down. Brian Wade with an unbelievable play. I credit him for locating the ball so quickly. I'm sure he had some help from his mates in front of him, and then probably turned and looked right into the sun as well. So now all of a sudden, runners at first and third with 2 outs. And the number 9 hitter, Kason Siemens, the second baseman, bats. Might expect to see Beeman down at first take off for second in a moment. There's a chopper towards short. Matt Stanley, 2-second for the force. And indeed, Frontenac out of it with no damage done. The big play in the inning, the great defensive play by the catcher, Brian Wade. We've played 2 in Manhattan. Frontenac leads 3-0.
Hey kids, this is Heavy D, Lord J. This one for all the refs out there.
The referee is there to keep things fair.
There to make the call, you may not like them all.
But when you're in the stands or even on the court,
remember, be a good sport.
That was awesome. And the song catcher, they try to slide.
Leading off the Frontenac Raiders is number 9, Blake Vale.
We move to the third inning now. Frontenac with the 3-0 lead. They will bat again. Nathan Whitcomb back out there to try to hold these Raiders at bay. And in there for a strike. It was a long inning for Whitcomb out on the mound, so that's something to keep an eye on as we'll move toward the middle frames. This one a little down low and evens it up at a ball and a strike. Blake Vale leads off. He lined out to short. One of the many putouts early on by Hunter Moreau. Boy, Vale was way out in front of that offering. It's a 1-2 count. Whitcomb comes home. Curveball fouled off right side, so Vale hangs alive here. It'll be Vale followed by Stanley and Bartow. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters. That curve stays high. It seems like here early, Whitcomb having trouble with the grip of the ball. It seems to be slipping a little bit. May need a rosin bag. Pitch stays in, a little high, and we go full here with the leadoff batter in the third inning. And he walked him, and Whitcomb kind of puts his hands on his knees in frustration as he lets another batter who he gets down in the count get away as Vail with a leadoff walk in the 3rd inning, and Frontenac would love to add to this lead. They already have 3 on the board. Matt Stanley, who already has a single and an RBI, bats and takes a first pitch strike. There's a chopper past 3rd and foul. The thing you have to credit Frontenac here in the first 2+ innings is they are not shy swinging the bat. They come in there and come in ripping. Big win yesterday over the defending 3A champs Silver Lake, 5-2. There's a drive toward right field, gonna be a tough play, and this one over the head of the right fielder, Zach Venata, and this one going all the way to the fence. That's gonna plate a man, and cruising into 3rd with a triple is Matt Stanley. And it is now 4-0 Frontenac as Vail scores easily on that drive to the fence. So the 2nd RBI of the early portion of this game by Matt Stanley. And still no one out in the 3rd inning. Here's Blake Bardo, who wrapped a single to center field. There's a ground ball past the second baseman and on into right center. That'll be a hit, and a RBI is scoring is Stanley to make it 5-0. Was waiting to see if they would give the second baseman an error, and I actually think they might do that. Yeah, so they're gonna call that a error on Siemens. And there's a chopper toward short. This could be 2, but the shortstop has trouble getting it out of his glove, and that cost Humboldt from turning a double play. For the first difficulty shown by Hunter Moreau with the glove. So Bartow reaches on the air, no RBI. Edge grounds out into a force out. So 1 out with the runner at first, and Nick Zafuda bats. Nick struck out to end the 1st inning. Squares around to bunt, takes the ball. Here in the top half of the 3rd inning, 5-0 Frontenac leads. Another square and bunt, a pretty good one, down to first. The first baseman fields and tags Zafuda. The sack good. Carpenter makes a good play to take care of his man, and Zafuda credited with a sacrifice bunt. He moves Edge down to second, and here's the only left-handed batter in the game, and it's Gus Brunetti. And Brunetti had a big single to lead off the 2nd inning for Frontenac. He was caught stealing, though, in the last inning as Whitcomb misses just a little bit outside, so 2 balls and no strikes. The Raiders have plated 2 here in the 3rd. That pitch is way inside. So 3-0, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 3rd, 5-0, Frontenac the lead. And one would have to think a bit of a surprise. That pitch nails the outside corner. Mentioned earlier, Humboldt, a perfect record thus far. Brunetti gonna reach base for a 2nd time as he walks and will trot down to first. So runners at first and second, and Frontenac's top of the order comes back up. And this is already their third round, and we're just in the third inning, as Burdett has already walked and lined out to the shortstop Moreau. If you're Humboldt, you have to be concerned too at the not only the patience that Frontenac has showed, but they've hit the ball hard a lot, even when they've made outs. And Whitcomb continuing to deal a lot of pitches. And as I say that, the catcher, Moreau, gonna put down his mask and head out to the mound, and maybe most importantly, give Whitcomb a little breather here. I know it's early here just in the third, but it's 5-0 Frontenac, and Humboldt cannot afford to fall behind anymore. That one in there. That evens the count 1-1. 2 outs. Nathan Whitcomb trying to get out of this jam. 2 runs have already crossed the plate. That one in the dirt. Good job by Alex Moreau to keep it in front of him and prevent the runner at second from advancing. Ross Edge is down there in scoring position. And the 2-1 count. And the pitch stays a little outside, and it's now 3-1. Whitcomb in danger of losing another batter here. That one in there, quick snap throw down to first, and the runner Brunetti able to get back. So now it is a full count, so the runners will be moving with this pitch. A shot in the gap would score 2 more for Frontenac. Runner down there, Edge, kind of toying with Whitcomb, trying to get an early jump. Whitcomb distracted. Now he's back on the rubber. And the 3-2 is chopped foul left side. And that one nearly took out a cameraman over there. Wow, high hop. And we'll do the 3-2 pitch all over again. Whitcomb. Swing and a miss. Whitcomb a big strikeout, a much needed strikeout. Burdett down on strikes, and no more damage done, but the Raiders come up with 2 more, and they lead it 5-0 over Humboldt, as we'll head to the bottom of the third after this. Here we go to the bottom of the third inning here from Manhattan on the campus of Kansas State University. Humboldt finds themselves now down 5-0. They will, though, have the top of the order due up here in the bottom of the third. Hunter Moreau, Caleb DeArmond, and Caleb Venata. Back out there for Frontenac is Brett McCary, who has only surrendered 1 hit thus far in his 2 innings. Pitch down and in, and count moves to 2 balls, 1 strike. 5-6-0 for the Raiders, 0-1-2 for the Cubs, and a couple of costly errors for Humboldt. A 3-1 count now to Hunter Moreau. Humboldt would love to get their leadoff batter on. There's a chopper foul. Nearly a nice play down there by the third base coach, which would be Humboldt head coach Mike Miller. And we go full here with this leadoff batter here in the bottom of the third. Just a bit low, and indeed a leadoff walk as Hunter Moreau will head down to first. Leadoff walks can be a bad deal for pitchers. It's proven true time and time and time again. McCary hoping that's not the case here for him in the third. That may be 2. Second base 1 over to first. Indeed, a double play. It goes Stanley to Edge to Bartow, and 1 pitch and 2 outs. Not a bad deal there for McCary. So much for the problems of that leadoff walk. Nobody on and 2 out for the number 3 hitter, Caleb Veneta, who grounded out to Zafuda, the third baseman, in the first inning. First pitch swinging and launching one down the left field line and foul. So a long strike there as Venata was ahead of that pitch. McCary, with nobody on, works from the stretch and deals the off-speed stuff outside. Ball and a strike here. And that one wide and off the mark, and heads back to the screen to move the count to 2-1. Nobody on, 2 out, bottom of the third. Frontenac leads Humboldt 5-0. That pitch a little bit high, and now 3-1. About the same spot. 5-pitch walk. And there goes Caleb Veneta down to first base. That is the 4th walk of the game for McCary. So he's been a bit wild, and still though Humboldt, even with their power bats, held off the scoreboard thus far, but they've have Frontenac some fortunate events. Mentioned a couple of good defensive plays, and we saw the double play earlier this inning. Now McCary falls behind 2-0 to Nathan Whitcomb. Whitcomb would love to help himself out here. The Humboldt pitcher, he flied out to left his first time up. He swings and chops one. There's a clean play by Humboldt head coach Mike Miller. Gets it back to the hurler, and McCary gonna deal this 2-1 pitch as Venata gets a lead off first, and he will draw a throw. McCary quickly, the sign comes home, and there's a pop-up on the infield. Third baseman comes over, makes the catch. That's Zafuda. And Humboldt turned away in the home half of the third. We've played 3. Frontenac leads 5-0.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not gonna come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
That'd be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mama, sir.
Frontenac comes to bat here in the top of the 4th inning. They already lead 5-0 and look to add to it. I'm sure Frontenac doesn't want to get too greedy, but start to think spread rule here is if they'd add a few more runs, they'd maybe get a little bit closer to that. Leading 5-0, and they have their numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up here in the 4th. Nathan Whitcomb, who has accumulated a lot of pitches here in the first 3 innings, out for his 4th inning of work. That one in there. Wade thought about offering on it, held up and took it for a strike. The 1-2. Swinging late, flying one down the right field line and gonna bounce foul and out of play. Good effort over there by Zach Venata. Nearly able to track that one down, but he had a long run out there and count a hold at a ball and 2 strikes. Just looking in between innings here, Humboldt, they do not have a senior on their roster. So a young Humboldt team, a lot of juniors, as there's a chopper towards second base, taking the high hop, throwing to first and throwing in time was Kason Siemens. And Wade is out, second to first. And 1 out, nobody on here for Humboldt here in the 4th inning. Pitcher Brett McCary gonna bat with 1 out and takes a first pitch strike. So good sign for Whitcomb here, getting ahead of some hitters in the 4th inning. Maybe he's settling down a little bit. There's another swing and a miss. McCary looked fooled on that one. Whitcomb working quickly here in the 4th. He's right back on the rubber looking for the sign. He misses just a little bit low with the fastball. Whitcomb. There's a shot into right field. Base hit for McCary. That's his 2nd hit of the day. So McCary has singled to left, now singled to right. Both solid hits to go with an RBI. So McCary, the number 3 hitter, using all parts of the field here in the first few innings, and he will get a pinch runner. As coming in to do the courtesy running is Ethan Powell, a sophomore. Ethan gets some state semifinal action. That one misses by not much. Some of the crowd wanting that call. I think Whitcomb wanted that call as well. And that one, a late strike call by the home plate umpire to even the count up at 1-1. Ethan Powell gets a pretty good lead off over at first base. There's a chop towards second, going back to play it. The shortstop and then throws it away. A rare error there by Hunter Moreau. And everybody's safe. No advancement, but runner at first and second with one out. So Vail going to reach on an error. That is the third error by Humboldt here in the early going. And here comes a visit to the mound by the head coach of Humboldt, Mike Miller. And he not only is talking to his pitcher and catcher, he's talking to his infield, and he might be talking to his infield, challenging these guys a little bit. And the message may be we may want to get in this game right now mentally and check in, or we're going to find ourselves in a big hole we may not be able to dig out of. It's already 5-0, Frontenac the lead, and any more runners played it, and it could be big time trouble for this undefeated Humboldt team. Whitcomb steps off. Something he didn't like there, and jumps back on the rubber though. Runner at second gets his lead off. Squaring around and taking a strike is Matt Stanley. Boy, Stanley had a huge RBI triple back in the third inning. He already has 2 hits today. He singled, picked up another RBI in that big first inning for Frontenac. He has a couple of runners out there. He squares. They're going to try to steal. The throw down to third and safe. Double steal by Frontenac as Ethan Powell slides into third, while the runner at first, Vail, checks in at second. So there's 2 ducks on the pond now for Frontenac, and a single would score 2 more and blow this one wide open. Whitcomb going to work from the wind, and Stanley able to check his swing. And it's a 3-0 count, and you have to wonder how much more Nathan Whitcomb is going to be out there. And now a little bit of confusion down on the field as the question was the count, whether that was ball 3 or ball 4. Stanley has already trotted at least 3/4 of the way down to first. Wait to get the call from the home plate umpire. I think Stanley has a bat in his hand. Yeah, so it's 3-0. Now the question is, with what Stanley's done so far, and actually they reset the count. It's a ball and 2 strikes, so that got really fouled up down on the field. And there's a swing and a miss. Well, you can understand why Stanley was content with the umpire giving him ball 4 and wanting to hustle down to first base, because instead of it being ball 4, it was a 1-2 count. That's a big strike out there by Whitcomb. And now Bartow gonna bat with runners still at second and third. Boy, this could be a big little sequence in this game right here. Frontenac looked poised just moments ago to add to this 5-0 lead. Instead now there's runners at second and third with 2 out. And Whitcomb from the wind comes home, and another swing and a miss. Blake Bartow with a hit back in the first inning, a single to center. He also reached on an error. But he's buried here. No balls, 2 strikes. Whitcomb deals. Little bit low. Moreau holding that, framing it. Didn't work. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Little bit low and inside. Ball gets away from Alex Moreau for just a moment, but no advancement. That's Ethan Powell, the courtesy runner down there at third base for the Raiders. 3 runs in the first for the Raiders, 2 more in the third. Trying to get some more here in the fourth. The 2-2. That one high and wide, so count goes full to the number 6 hitter, Blake Bartow. Strike 3, caught the inside corner. Bartow caught looking, and no damage done by Frontenac in the visitor half of the 4th inning. They strand a couple runners and will move to the bottom of the 4th with Frontenac leading Humboldt 5-0.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
Leading off with the Humboldt Cubs will be number 12, third baseman Grayson Pierce. Jacob Carpenter will dead, Austin Beeman in the hole.
Home half of the 4th inning now. Not panic time yet if you're Humboldt, but you're down 5-0 and you're starting to get toward the latter part of this game. Going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Grayson Parrish, Jacob Carpenter, and Austin Beeman. And Brett McCary out there on the mound for Frontenac. Deals his first 2 offerings low, and he's down 2-0 and going to prompt a visit by catcher Brian Wade to settle him down a little bit. He doesn't want this thing to get away at all. Right now the skies are kind of overcast. You can see blue skies in the distance. Some thin clouds above. Perfect conditions right now. And it's about been a perfect start to this Class 3A state semifinal game for Frontenac. Now, though, McCary in danger of walking a leadoff hitter for the 2nd straight inning. This one chopped at the plate over toward the Humboldt on-deck circle. Moves to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that is strike 3 call. Grayson Parrish caught looking. And 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Now Jacob Carpenter, the first baseman, will bat with nobody on and 1 out. Pitch misses wide. 1-0. Humboldt with just 1 hit today. But McCary continues to play with fire, falling behind hitters and walking hitters. There's a chopper deep in the hole at short. Gonna be a tough play for Stanley. Ball gonna skip over to Bartow at first, and able to beat that one out is Carpenter. So an infield single for Jacob Carpenter. And he's on for the second time today as he walked back in the second inning. Austin Beeman, the DH, who also walked in the second, will bat with a runner at first and one out. Swinging on the first pitch and fouling it over the press box here at Tointon Family Stadium. If you're just joining us, Frontenac 3 runs in the first, 2 runs in the third. That curve stays high. Ball and a strike to Beeman. That's a chopper towards short, might be 2. Stepping on the bag to first high, but able to get his foot on the bag is Bartow. And Stanley with an unassisted double play, and Frontenac turns away Humboldt in the 4th. We've played 4. It's the Raiders leading the Cubs 5-0.
Boo! Hey, where are you going? Can't get by me. I'm number 1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm number 1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am the king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
We move things to the 5th inning. Frontenac leads 5-0. They'll look to add to it here as Nathan Whitcomb back out and dealing to these Raiders. Whitcomb has just hung in there. Boy, his defense has let him down quite a bit today, and there's a shot right through the box, and a base hit, a solid base hit for Ross Edge to lead off this 5th inning. Just about to say, Humboldt, they have really shot themselves in the foot in the field with 3 errors. A big one by the center fielder Caleb Venata that led to a couple runs that saw a man circle the bases. Edge with good speed over there at first. Whitcomb will definitely want to pay attention to him. Squaring around a bunt is Nick Zafuda and takes a ball. So a 2-0 count to the Frontenac third baseman. Speaking of third baseman, Parrish for Humboldt is very shallow down at third, expecting the bunt now. And the bunt fouled straight back off the press box window here. Zafuda going to try to do his job and get a bunt down, it would appear. Get another man in scoring position. No, he will not square this time and takes a strike. So Whitcomb comes in strong with that offering and evens the count up 2-2. And struck him out. So Zafuda going to be upset with himself there as he could not first get the bunt down and then ends up striking out. Here's Gus Brunetti that will bat with 1 on and 1 out. There's a pop-up on the infield. Shortstop calls off the third baseman, and Hunter Moreau makes the catch. And 2 gone just like that. So big sequence there for Humboldt as Brunetti pops to short. And there is Ross Edge over at third base, or actually first base, with 2 outs now. And Bryce Burdett, the leadoff hitter, as we go back to the top of the order for Frontenac. That one spins Burdett around like a top. 1-0. The 1-0 is low in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. There's a chopper toward first. Fielded cleanly. Stepping on the bag was Jacob Carpenter, and that will turn away Frontenac in the 5th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Humboldt needs to get busy if they want to get back in this Class 3A state semifinal game, as it's Frontenac 5 and Humboldt nothing.
Hey kids, this is Heavy D, Lord J. This one for all the refs out there.
The referee is there to keep things fair.
He's there to make the call. You may not like them all,
But when you're in the stands or even on the court,
remember, be a good sport.
Welcome you back to Tointon Family Stadium, Frank Myers Field. Dallas Ackerman with you. Kansas State baseball here from Manhattan this weekend. We are in the bottom of the 5th now. Undefeated Humboldt behind 5-0 to Frontenac. And Humboldt will bat in the bottom of the 5th. They need base runners. Ball chopped by Alex Moreau. Moreau 0 for 1 today. Popped out to the catcher, Wade, in the 2nd inning. And the 1-1 pitch just a bit inside, 2-1. So the numbers 8, 9, and then we'll head to the back to the top of the order, the leadoff hitter here in the 5th inning. There's a ground ball to short, up with it Stanley. Throw is a little bit wild. Good job by the catcher Wade to back up the play, but Moreau going to be safe at first. They're going to give the shortstop Stanley an error on that one. So Moreau is safe, and he'll be on at first with no one out. And Kason Siemens will bat, and he's going to square around and bunts back to the pitcher, who makes the easy play to first. The sacrifice is good, so Siemens will get a hand from his Humboldt fans and teammates. And we'll head to the top of the order with Hunter Moreau, Caleb DeArmond, and Caleb Vanetta due up if the inning is extended, with the runner Alex Moreau now down at 2nd base. Pitcher Brett McCary has done a great job today keeping this Humboldt offense off the scoreboard. There's a little chopper in front of the mound, and McCary fields and throws to first as the runner Alex Moreau moves up to third base, but have to think Frontenac will take 90 feet, give up 90 feet for an out, which they do right there, and be a runner at third base with 2 outs now. Caleb DeArmond, an opportunity to get a run. Instead, he chops to short. This is going to be a tough play. Good extension, the throw to first, and they pull him off the bag. They thought that the first baseman, Bartow, may have made the sweet tag on the wild throw, but they're going to say he did not. And that should be, well, I don't want to speak too early to say it's an infield hit. It was a tough play for Nick Zafuda, the third baseman, as he ranged way far from his left. And now we're going to have a conference between the umpires. I don't know if they're maybe talking about a potential interference play with the throw and the contact down at first base. By the ovation from the Humboldt crowd, that would be a negative on the interference, and Caleb Venata will bat with a runner at first, and now the first Humboldt run in. So Caleb DeArmond down at first. That's now 2 errors on the Raiders. That's 5 errors in the game. Caleb Venata bats for the 3rd time today. He grounded out to third in the first inning, and he walked in the second. Venata chops a ball into the Humboldt dugout. Gonna scurry the guys over there a little bit. So Frontenac still in control of this, leading by 4, but I'm sure they want to get their defense to the dugout. As the curveball sails wide, leveling the count out at 1-1. Venata chops to third, wide of the bag, so now 2 strikes. 1-2 count. Humboldt does have the advantage of being the higher seed, which gives them the home team. They'll get the last at bat. The 1-2. That one called third strike. Great curveball from McCary, and the damage is limited. Humboldt does come up with 1 run. No hits officially, so they are on the board. Frontenac's lead is 5-1 as we have played 5 from this Class 3A state semifinal in Manhattan. Good day for an umbrella if you're a spectator here from Tointon Family Stadium in Manhattan, as temperature is going to be in the 90s before it's all said and done. And Crowd's seen a pretty good ball game here in this first Class 3A state semifinal. Humboldt had little to nothing to cheer about early on. They finally get a run in the bottom of the 5th, and now as we move into the 6th inning, we're officially late innings here. And first things first for Humboldt is they're going to try to quiet this Frontenac offense down and see what they can do with their last 6 outs. This is a 24-0 Humboldt High School baseball team. And they do not want to see the season's state championship hopes dashed in a game in which they don't play great defense with 3 errors and don't get their bats going, which that's a surprise as well, only scoring 1 run thus far. And you have to credit Nathan Whitcomb, the Humboldt pitcher. He has hung in there and been able to get his team into the late innings. There's a grounder to short. Hunter Moreau up with it, throw across, able to get him by a step and a half. And the leadoff hitter here in the 6th, Brian Wade, retired short to first. Now to bring up Brett McCary, who has just had a hand in everything today. He's done a great job on the mound for Frontenac and also chipped in with a couple RBI hits. McCary's only out recorded was a pop out to the catcher. That was back in the 2nd inning. It's a 2-0 count now to McCary. Count to 3-0. We'll see if McCary gets the green light here with nobody on and 1 out and a 3-0 count. Curveball able to clip the corner. And the 3-1. This one misses outside, and McCary will head down to first and probably get a courtesy runner in for him. See a young man already with a helmet down there. That's going to be Ethan Powell, going to come in and courtesy run for the 2nd time today. Blake Vale will bat with 1 on and 1 out. Pitch a little low and out. Blake Vale is lined to short, walked, and reached on an error. That one's in there. Counts 1-1. Humboldt, they are down to 6 outs here in this semifinal. They need to score at least 4 as it sits right now. There's a swing late and a foul ball. Heads up off the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Vale. Open stance, there goes the runner. Pitches a ball, throw down to second. The ball gets away right around second base. And the courtesy runner I mentioned a moment ago, Ethan Powell, has himself a stolen bag. That was actually a late strike called, so Blake Vale is called out on strikes. So 2 outs, and now a chopper by Stanley to short. Into field it, throw low, good dig by the first baseman Carpenter, and Humboldt's out of it with no damage done. Frontenac turned away, and we'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning with Frontenac leading Humboldt 5-1.
Hey, Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burnt.
That's it. You're not gonna come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
I don't really
You wouldn't do it there.
gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Here we go, bottom of the 6th inning. Gonna have some changes now for Frontenac. As gonna have a new pitcher, Bryce Burdett, will take over maybe for the last 6 outs if he can get him. As Blake Vale is now out in center field. And Brett McCrary, the young man that did a fine job through 5 innings on the mound, he moves to left field. There's a pop-up on the infield. What a catch. What a catch by the pitcher, Bryce Burdett. Miscommunication between the catcher and the pitcher. The catcher, Brian Wade, about 3/4 of the way down with the ball, pointed to his new pitcher, Burdett, and Burdett promptly dives head first toward the line to make a diving grab. So everything continues to go great for the Raiders, and that's a big out as well. So Whitcomb recorded. And Grayson Parrish bats with nobody on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. There's a big rip, no contact. You can see here in the first few offerings from Burdett why he's in there to maybe get these last 6 outs. Not a real tall young right-hander, but he's got some zip on his offerings. And Grayson Parrish wants to step out and gather his thoughts as he's down in the count 1-2. That one gonna ride high and tight to level the count up 2-2. Little chopper in front of the plate, gonna spin off of that artificial turf and go foul. So Parrish gonna have to return to the batter's box and deal with a 2-2 pitch from Bryce Burdett. Can Humboldt make a late rally to keep this perfect season alive? It's gonna take a lot. Down 4. And that's a called 3rd strike looking. So Grayson Parrish down on strikes for a 2nd time today. And nobody on and 2 outs, and the Humboldt crowd to my left sits very quietly right now. As Burdett challenging Jacob Carter with the first pitch, and Carter fists it off foul right behind home plate. There's a curveball fouled off, and just like that, no balls and 2 strikes. Burdett doing a great job coming in throwing strikes. He is around home plate right now. And the pitch a little bit outside. I'm sure the home plate umpire not going to appreciate Brian Wade taking about 3.5, 4 steps toward his dugout, thinking it was a third strike. Instead, a 1-2 pitch. He gets the call there. Another called looking. Bryce Burdette comes in and strikes out 2 of the 3 hitters he faces in the 6th inning. We've played 6. It's Frontenac leading Humboldt 5-1.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
Lots of Power Cat logos around the ballpark here in Manhattan. We're at Tointon Family Stadium, as it has really been all Frontenac. A little bit of a surprise, at least going by the records. The 2 teams coming into today, a combined 46-2 record in 2012. 24 of those from Humboldt. The Cubs 24-0, and they are on the ropes now, down 5-0 into the 7th. That one going to be on a short hop to the shortstop Moreau, who throws out the leadoff batter Blake Bartow. Quickly 1 gone here in the visitor half of the 7th inning. Here's Ross Edge, who has been active at the plate today for Frontenac. He's 2 for 2 officially. A couple singles, bounced into a fielder's choice. He has caused Humboldt some headaches on the base paths. Pitch inside is Nathan Whitcomb. He seems poised to go the distance on the mound for Humboldt today. As a late swing and a pop-up right side. Right fielder comes in to call off a second baseman. Good play by Zach Vanetta as Casey Siemens, the second baseman, lost his hat, and he may have lost the ball up in the sky, and he gets up. Let's hope he's going to be all right, as kind of limping back toward his position. After all that, it's an out for Humboldt, and nobody on and 2 out for Nick Zafuda. There's a curve right in there for a strike. Actually looks like Austin Beckley, the senior, gonna come in and bat here in the 7th inning. So Austin Beckley in there batting from the right side, facing a 1-1 count. Curve, little bit off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Next offering, there's another curve, and it stays outside. If you're wondering, for Humboldt in the home half of the 7th, due up would be their 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Right now would be Beeman, Alex Moreau, and Siemens. Late on that one, And a big strikeout for Nathan Whitcomb as he fans the pinch hitter, and Frontenac turned away in their half of the 7th. Here we go. Humboldt trying to rally. They need 4 to tie, 5 to win here from Manhattan. We'll see if Frontenac advances to the Class 3A state championship game after this.
Boo! Hey, where are you going? Can't get by me. I'm #1 in this class. I rule this lab. I'm #1. Hey, I don't think so. Yes! Winner! I am a king! Woo!
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
What?
Jerk.
Frontenac, they are now 3 outs away from moving into this evening's Class 3A state championship game. 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for Humboldt here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Austin Beeman, Alex Moreau, and Kason Siemens, the 3 hitters due up. Bryce Burdett, who came on in relief and came on in relief strong in the 6th, striking out 2 of the 3 batters he faced, 2 of them looking. Starts out the bottom of the 7th, high and tight, kind of moved Austin Beeman out of there a little bit. The 1-0. That one's right in there for a fastball strike. Austin Beeman, I beg your pardon, has walked and grounded into a double play. You'd have to think if Frontenac's able to advance to this evening's championship, we might see Bryce Burdett get some more action on the mound. That pitch is in there, even in the count up at 2-2. Blake Vale pitched well yesterday, and earlier we saw McCary on the mound giving Frontenac 5 good innings. This one fouled back and over our heads. Count holds at 2-2. Reminder coming up at 12:30 at semifinal number 2, Wellsville and Sacred Heart from Salina. The matchup. That curveball stays high. Boy, you have to think Bryce Burdett wants a decision right here, and he wants a ball located in the strike zone. A lead-off walk for Humboldt. Good job by Austin Beeman. And not what Frontenac wanted right there. And looks like we'll get a courtesy runner as Beeman, the DH, did his job. And Noah Thornbrough, junior outfielder, gonna do the courtesy running down at first base. I mentioned earlier Humboldt without a senior on their roster, so the future bright for these guys. But then all of a sudden you look at Frontenac, their roster only has 2 seniors, one of those being Austin Beckley, the other Zach Snyder. So Frontenac gonna get back basically all of their key players next year. Pitch, another high and tight one. So you know that Frontenac head coach Bill Sullivan is just thinking win and win at all costs, but you might get a little bit greedy here, and if indeed you want to throw Burdett in the championship later today, you'd like to minimize his pitches right here. The 1-0. That one in there for a strike. Evens that up at 1-1 to Alex Moreau. Popped out to the catcher and reached on an error in the 5th inning. There's a chopper towards short. Might be tough to turn 2. They get 1. They do get 2. Moreau on a close play at first, called out. Another huge double play turned by Frontenac. And you talk about turning the inning completely around. It does just that, as there's nobody on, 2 out, and a 4-run lead for Frontenac, and these guys look poised to be playing tonight at 5:30 in the title game. It's all up to Kason Siemens. This Frontenac crowd that has made the long trip out here to Manhattan from down in the southern part of Kansas, southeastern part of Kansas, down by Pittsburgh. They're making noise. Pitch is low and count it 2-0. Burdett looks in for the sign, gets it and deals, and misses a little high, so 3-0 count on Siemens. If he could get on, we'd go to the top of the order. Taking all the way and takes a strike. Siemens doesn't look happy, but he's just going to have to get right back in there and hit. They need base runners, do the Humboldt Cubs. There's a high chopper. Throw to first in time. And the Frontenac Raiders win it in the semifinals. And they will now advance to the championship game coming up later today, in which they'll meet the winner of Wellsville and Salina Sacred Heart at 5:30. The final numbers, the Raiders of Frontenac, 5 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, while the Cubs of Humboldt, with just 1 run, just 2 hits, and they committed 3 costly errors. Humboldt gonna have to try to bounce back and play a gutsy 3rd place game coming up this afternoon at 3 o'clock on this field against the loser of that Wellsville Sacred Heart game. So Frontenac advancing to 23-2 on the year, while Humboldt, they see their first loss of this 2012 season. They're 24-1, their first loss coming in a disappointing state Class 3A semifinal. Don't forget, coming up, semifinal number 2, be 12:30. Wellsville with an 18-6 record, going to take on 18-6 Salina Sacred Heart. We'll say so long for now. Dallas Ackerman from Manhattan in the Kansas Class 3A State Baseball Championships.